Hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my review of Kingsman The Golden Circle. Of course, this is a sequel to the original Kingsman that came out a few years ago. Uh, this movie stars, of course, Colin Firth, Taron Egerton, Mark Strong, Julianne Moore's in this, Jeff Bridges, uh, Channing Tatum, Halle Berry, and Pedro Pascal. And basically, this story, the original Kingsman was about uh, Taron Egerton's character, Eggsy. He was made into a spy by Colin Firth's character, and of course, in this movie, it picks up uh, uh, after that, and Eggsy is a world-class spy working with Mark Strong's character of Merlin, and of course, that you see in the trailer, so this is not a spoiler. Their headquarters is blown up, and basically all the Kingsman headquarters is blown, are basically killed. Only Eggsy and Merlin are left. Okay, and they basically have to turn to their American counterparts to help them. Okay, and they have to basically venture to Kentucky, and that's when, like I said, this is not a spoiler because you see this in the trailer. That's when they run into Colin Firth's character, who we thought had died in the first movie, but he's basically alive in this movie. And I won't go into the details about how he's alive, but he's alive in this movie. And basically, they have to stop this character named Poppy, played by Julianne Moore, who blew up their headquarters and who's the head of this big drug ring, and she wants to basically blackmail the world. Okay, and this movie is about 2 hours and 21 minutes. Now, this movie, did I enjoy this movie? Yes. Is it good as the first movie? No. I think this movie, first of all, this movie's about 2 hours and 21 minutes. It's a little too long. They could have cut at least a good half hour, I think, from this movie. To kind of speed up the pacing of it. As far as villains are concerned, Julianne Moore, she's okay. She has this kind of 1950s June Cleaver type vibe going on, and she's okay. She does the best she can with her material, but she's no Samuel Jackson in terms of villains. Okay, she's okay, but I think Samuel Jackson's character was a better villain in this movie, in the other original Kingsman movie. And now, as far as the characters, I think Taron Egerton as Eggsy, he's great. I think he's really grown into the part, and he really just plays the part very well, and he's totally believable. The standouts for me in this movie, of course, Mark Strong, who plays Merlin. I think he's not in the movie as much, but he has a couple of really great scenes, especially one towards the end, which really get to you right there. And of course, you have the American spies, played by Channing Tatum, Halle Berry, Jeff Bridges, and Pedro Pascal. First of all, Pedro Pascal to me was a standout. He was, like you see in the trailer, he's good with the whip, good with the rope, and he plays the character so cocky and arrogant, but you just can't help but really like him. And Channing Tatum, he's not in the movie as much as I thought he was, but he's good as well. And Halle Berry plays more of her character is more like the Merlin type for the American spy group. She's the one that explains the gadgets and all that stuff. Okay, she did a decent job. But again, I think this movie is like a little too long. Okay, again, there's a little bit too many subplots going on at once. And I think Colin Firth, was actually pretty good in this as well. He's more laid back in the beginning of the movie, but he really gets into it in the second half of the movie, and he really shines to me, Colin Firth. But again, the movie's, I think, a little bit too long. The villain is not as strong as I think Samuel Jackson villain in this. But I did enjoy the movie. Like I said, I love Pedro Pascal. I thought he was absolutely fantastic in this. And of course, I like Taron Egerton as Eggsy. I think he's just really comfortable in the part and stuff. And I love Colin Firth. So those were the positives to me. Colin Firth, Pedro Pascal, Taron Egerton. I think, again, the negatives to me, the movie's a little bit too long. Okay, the villain is not as good. Okay, a little bit too many subplots going on. But is it enjoyable? Do I recommend you go see it? Yes. If you like the first movie, yes, definitely go see this movie. Just bear in mind that this, to me, at least, it's not as good as the first movie. Okay, but it's still enjoyable, and hopefully maybe they'll improve if they make another movie. Okay, they improve it. Okay, but I like that they did take a chance and introduce different things in the sequel. And they made the sequel they try to do different things, which I, you can't blame filmmakers for trying to do something different and not just repeat what was in the first movie. Okay, I'll give them credit for that. Anyway, again, so I'm going to give Kingsman The Golden Circle, I'm going to give it a 7.5. I'm going to give it a 7.5. I think the first Kingsman to me would be an 8, maybe 8.2. Okay, but this one, not as good, a little bit too long, a little bit too many subplots going on. Okay, villain not as strong, but everything else I liked. So again, 7.5 for me. And I definitely want to see another entry into this. I think Matthew Vaughn just knows, and I love what he does with the material. So the action scenes in here were great too as well. Put it that way. Anyway, let me know what you think of Kingsman: The Golden Circle. What do you think of it? Feel free to leave comments down below, and if you like this review, please hit the subscribe button down below. I have links to my Facebook, my Twitter, and my Instagram in the description box, as well as my other channel, Paul's Views and Opinions. The link is below. Please check that out as well. And this is Trey Pastor saying so long and take care.